G'day Legends, Atron here, going in for this week's Guild Wars. So last week we tested out some of the new hero Espirita. Still keeping with a couple of the Deflect duos here, but there's a lot of talk going around about Espirita and how she's not really useful in PvP modes, which, you know, I'd have to lean towards and agree. I feel like this meta is not really it's not really open to pure damage heroes. So when you look at Espirita, her damage, you know, all she's really there for is buffing the spirit. That's what I see her for, buffing the spirit to be useful by taking out those enemies. And the only reason 100 enemies is really going to be useful is going to be in Guild Wars. So I'm not Guild Wars, sorry, dungeons. So while, you know, she does straight damage, all of these Stone Skin heroes and Flame Guard heroes out there in Fortress Feud and Lost Battlefield, it's correct, she's not going to be very useful against them, as her skill is simply she heals and she buffs her spirit, and the spirit heals her. So really she's just a nuisance. But you know, she's not. What's her cooldown here? Her cooldown's 9 seconds. She hits 4 targets every 9 seconds. Like, that's it. That's all she does. You know, and having a War God or Bulwark on her is gonna probably hurt you. I mean, I've got Bulwark at like probably her 4th wanted talent. I'm putting, like, you know, Stone Skin, Flame Guard, maybe even Tenacity before the Flame Guard. Well, it depends what modes you want to for. Like, Flame Guard's really a PvP talent. I think Stone Skin's going to be better for the dungeons to keep her alive better, especially in Insane Dungeon 8 when it's released. So that's my feel on her there. Yes, she's not worthless, don't get me wrong, mark my words, she will be used 100% come these new dungeons. And if you're not up to, like, you know, if you haven't got 140 flames like I do and you're only waiting for Insane Dungeon 8, she's still super useful in these lower dungeons. You know, a couple of stacks with PD and Mike, you know, and she's away. So, you know, let's get into the Guild Wars anyway, and we'll deal with that. We'll deal with that later. So, but that's my advice on her. You know, if you don't want resources right now, that's fine. Use her later for Insane Dungeon, because she will definitely be useful there. Necessary? Maybe not. Maybe Anubis can do it all, but I think they'll both be needed, to be honest. I don't understand why they would release such a weak hero, you know, weak PvP mode, that can deal another lot of 100 troops. Anyway, we're into Guild Wars now. I've been talking over the top, doing a couple of things. In power, no one's in power, but that's alright, we don't need to worry about that. We're just going to drop. Oh, actually, I don't think I put my pets. I don't think I put the pets on the right. So when we're doing Deflect and I want to be using Bublo for ATLANTICORE, that's what I've been using as of late. Is he on anything? He is on something. I'm not sure why. Oh yeah, I was using him for Fortress Feud today for a Deflect team. So that's alright. We'll put him on Bublo. And we'll put Mike on the non-stun Yellowfant. So that's what I'm after there. Make sure Anubis is on Doom Balloon while we're here. That's probably a pretty important one. Don't forget that. That's pretty much the main damage dealer of the team there. And Heartbreaker for Chica. Okay, so that was my pets going on there. And we will go in now. Okay, so let's just jump in straight away. I just want to show you guys, while I say that Espirita is not used in a lot of PvP modes, if you don't have certain heroes, or like Anubis for example, the one thing I do want to showcase in Guild Wars is if you've got a full base worth of troops. I might do it in another one, but this is just the first one we came across, and let's say Anubis needs to go in, but realistically if you're doing a Ronin bomb and you're doing anything to do with Ronin, you're going to be wanting to drop Anubis on the Doom Balloon last, because he gets those 3 procs each time on death. At least he's silent, so they just bam bam bam, adding a lot of damage. So if you put a Espirita with a 2-second cooldown on her on her spirit, right? You know, let's say there was 300 troops like I've got, you know, a couple of seconds, he goes again, and that is, you know, all of a sudden you've used maybe 8 seconds worth. If he's getting attacked and his energy is very high, you know, 8-10 seconds, that's all he needs to survive, and he's going to easily wipe 300 troops off the board. You know, he only needs 3 procs, 4 procs, what's that, 8 seconds, let's say. Like, if he was going in, we'll go to the top, and, you know, he might be getting a little bit more energy off the Rockno, although he does reduce energy, so that might be a double-edged sword right there. And Athene kills Espirita, no worries, but even though he's getting... Yeah, so that was... When he gets zapped for energy, it's not great, but he's still able to clear troops, right? In that first initial swamp, especially with the gunslinger bullet hitting him, proc, and, you know, the Athene proc, he's got 80% damage reduction. I think his reduction is a bit warped, because he seems to survive a lot longer than Espirita does. So, but what I want to also show today, someone left a comment for me last week about using Walla in space of Espirita. So we will swap this out now. So now we will use Walla just for some backup, essentially, for like a deflect squad going in, figuring out what's going to be best. Now, throughout my little trials and whatnot, what I've found is one of the biggest things is silencing the hero you're trying to attack. So I changed Mike's stats to put him in eye, and I put the owl on him as far as the pet goes, because, you know, I don't want Rockno healing over the deflect, and Athene's going to die anyway, and we actually don't want to silence her. That's not a big deal, but I mean, essentially silence could work in the same regard for Anubis. If you silence him before his proc, then that's fine, but if you silence him after his proc, obviously then you're going to need debuff, because he is immune to silence once he is buffed up. So essentially you could kill Ronin, no revive, no life drain, no goblet, all that stuff if you can silence them. Hitting Ronin is the hard part. So, but in this little setup, we really just want to get rid of Athene, because she's going to be the one that is going to hit our Ronin the hardest. So I'm thinking we're probably going to go up the top, lead with Mike. He's going to silence the Rockno, so we draw the troops over there, but we bring the Rockno out a little bit, and then we attack him. And obviously we kind of wanted to go a little bit closer, to be honest, than that, because of the Athene in there. So we'll do that same thing again, but we'll just be a little bit closer, dropping troops, drawing out the Rockno, so we know that that Mike can stack on him straight away. I feel like while she's powered up, attack speed wise, probably not the greatest thing to go in, just because you just want to give yourself a little bit of breathing room. But we do the same thing, and she's not really got enough energy to proc off straight away. So my thoughts here are a little bit different, because this is when you use totems in your environment to your advantage, because there is a Cupid totem right here, that's going to give her energy a little bit quicker, so we don't have to worry about getting there so quick. So if we drop a whole bunch of troops, and then Mike, and followed by ATLANTICORE, she's going to die pretty much straight away. Hopefully they can kind of take care of Rockno. They didn't that time, but I don't think it's going to be all that hard. So we'll see if we can do that one more time. Going in, we might even try just doing it straight away. So Athene dies to no one. She dies to the she definitely dies to the ATLANTICORE, but she didn't die to the, or Mike died just too quickly. So when we're going to do that, we're going to drop some troops first. Mike, drop a Cupid in there, buff them up, deflect more on their half. And are we through? It looks like we're through. Okay, so we've opened up a huge gap in their base, and we put Walla in. This is where Walla is handy. He's going to heal over the rest of them, and now we've still, like, this is where we're putting in Ronin afterwards. So he's going in, we're just dropping troops on the side. Walla is 8 Flame Guard, healing over that Ronin, only just though. So we're at 50% now, and I'm not sure what happened. So one half of that base is gone. Athena's gone. Ronin now is all by himself up there with basically no harm as far as like buildings go to anyone else. So, you know, I'm going to be fairly safe to drop my, what I want to do is drop Ronin over here in the top part, because I want all of this top part gone, so Heartbreaker can focus on the bottom, and then Anubis can walk in, and I'm sure there's a totem, yep, there it is, walk in and have a bit of fun that way. So, draw the troops over this way, just because we don't want to bother, and there's also less magic towers, not that that really affects Ronin, to be honest, but this is just a slightly different strategy to do with, you know, if I'd tried it enough times, I'm sure I could have just had the Deflect team, if it was a little better, or the Deflect duo, do a little bit more damage to everything. So, you know, this worked out fine as well, so long as you're comfortable in the base and the enemy heroes, that your remaining 3 heroes, like this was, are going to be able to do enough destruction to this base. So I dare say they will. We will drop Heartbreaker and Anubis to get that 100% straight away. So just another little example of how Deflect can work on different kind of bases. So we'll see what the next one holds. If it's anything similar, we'll keep the same team. Otherwise, we may change it up. Okay, so that's the only one from that squad. 307, 97. These have got to be top guys here. So we'll just go through. Maybe not the same base. All right. So we've got something over here. Skelly. We've got a. Let's see how Sasquatch goes against a Deflect squad. So that Skelly's there. The Anubis is there. Probably not going to have a whole bunch of luck with this, but like it could be interesting. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It just could be interesting. So we go in. He's down. Skelly's down. Sasquatch also died. For real? Man, he's got wrecked. He's got super wrecked. Let's do that again. Let's see if Anubis will die. Maybe we can drop everyone and then Walla, and then Anubis will die, because Walla will debuff Anubis and he can just get hammed. Alright, so I don't know what was going on here, but let's just go for that again. Alright, Mike is dying super quick, so who knows? Sasquatch definitely looked like he was dying. Who knows? I'm just going to drop Walla like almost straight away. Maybe I'll drop, actually, I won't draw the Anubis out, but I'll drop Atlanticore first and then see what happens. So he goes over. Man, oh, of course, because Skelly's debuffing. That does make sense. But on that town hall, you know what I'm going to have to do? Because I took the pets off for this last one to silence, I'll have to change them around. So he was in that. So I need to change him back to Helo Pet, which was Walla, which was fine. So that's something that I reckon is going to make a difference of him staying alive. And of course, I put him in Eye because I wanted to silence that Rockno. Now, we'll put it back in Goblet. A little bit more health, a little bit more survivability. Maybe enough time for me to spam Walla's heal on them. And we'll see how we go. But, I mean, that was just an odd drop that I did. And Skelly, obviously, we all know Skelly dies fairly easily. But, you know, how advantageous can it be going in against 3 heroes instead of 4 heroes, or you know, any other 6 heroes, like, you know, and then Ronin bombing after the Deflect team goes in. So that's kind of what we're looking at the moment. And then we're going to put Waller in him for that heal, which goes very nicely. Everyone is getting carved up by. Oh no, we didn't win so well then. So we'll just try that same drop again. Who knows what's going on? Maybe it was early, maybe it was late. He is getting munched by the Sasquatch though. Like, I'm not sure what I was doing there. Is Waller just going to take down the Anubis solo? It looks like it. I wonder. Wow. I mean, Flame Guard Walla heals as well. It's not that surprising, to be honest. So let's just put this. I'm going to go for this because this essentially we've got rid of the heroes, and I'm going to put Ronin in and see if he deals with that that Sasquatch, because he's got a little bit of health. I reckon we can get him, unless he's got like Goblet of Life. That's gonna not be ideal. So he killed Walla, but granted, Walla had 8 Flame Guards, so that little bit of health was probably okay. So obviously troops over there, we want to avoid that Walla proc because we are going past this 50% mark. So I actually just want to be spamming because we are on reckless territory here. So we've got a lot of stuff around the outside, so that is okay because I can get Anubis to pretty much go on the inside. So we've got no Gunslinger, and so what we're going to do here is allow Heartbreaker. I don't know which angle is going to be the best. Where's she going to do the most destruction? Probably up here, because I want her to do as much buildings, and then Anubis can kind of run out of the outside of the base, and then that's it really. So I didn't expect her to kill any of those heroes. So we've got Anubis left. Now this is when it gets risky, because if he does go inside and he hasn't done enough damage over there, we do still have troops, so we might as well load up these troops, because, you know, Anubis is down and gets the 100%. Okay, cool. So a little bit of a mess around, but still a potentially effective option. Maybe against higher might people, I don't know. But for lower might people, I mean, deflect is deflect. It's the same. So if you've got 10 skill Mike, obviously the more HP he has, that 25% is going to let him live longer. But if you can get AC to start working properly, you can take out a Skelly, no worries. Walla will help that heal and that transition into deflect, and then out of the shield proc, and, you know, staying alive to potentially the next one or adding it. Yeah, pretty interesting stuff. So I didn't mind that battle. It was a bit different, a little bit reckless without Tree, obviously, but then again, we're using 2 deflect heroes instead of just Mike. We're trying to take that deflect to another level past just deflecting off a thing, seeing how many uses we can get for it. So let's hit this next target and go from there. Alright, so next target, I'm not sure, I haven't actually gone through them all. I probably could have, should have. Oh, okay, Deflect and Espirita on base, 173, but let's see how Deflect goes against an Espirita, like how well she survives, or how tanky this spirit really is. Could be a nice little test there. So is they going to come out? I think so. We will put Mike first. I think we're going to put Mike first. We'll do a couple of other troops to let them go in. Not sure what's going on here. This spirit. So Mike. Oh, have they got an Empower Walla? Yeah, looks like it. So Empower Walla's going out there. So he's going to deflect. He's going to debuff the Mike shield in this case. So potentially running in is not going to be. I kind of want to tank with AC then. Atlanticore. Well, let's just see. Well, I just want to see if, like, you know, in a scenario like this, that the Atlanticore is actually going to do some damage to this spirit. Probably not, because when the spirit procs, he heals. So, and he's getting attack speed heal, so that's probably not going to work out so well. Like, defensive-wise, maybe a spirit is not a bad option, so especially clearing troops a lot quicker than Anubis. If you're spamming troops and that a spirit, the spirit's just going there, definitely going to do some more damage. So what we're going to do is we're going to flick out Walla in this regard, because I think the better use will be... actually, I don't know, Espirita, troops... I'm not sure who I would use instead. Normally I would just use like a Skelly or something like that. Who have I been using? Rockno I have been using to cake out some other buildings. Let's just keep the Walla in for this instance, because I'm still... It's really the Atlanticore I want to take out. So we'll take the Atlanticore out for this one. No deflect on this one. We'll put in the Espirita, and we'll put in for Mike. We'll keep Mike in. We'll keep Mike in just for fun. and Italian Reborn, 297. So obviously I'm just going to go straight Ronin on this from the top with the Waller, and we'll see how we go. So with an Empower Waller, the big thing you got to make sure is that you are spamming some troops. So even if they're on both sides, wherever they need to be, you need to be spamming them, because he's going to be constantly proccing, and he's going to be hurting your Ronin quite a lot. So you just need to spam him as much as you can. Now I wonder if Ronin is going to walk around this base. It is very rare, because he generally hits the buildings furthest away from him, and he doesn't get the opportunity to really take into effect. So what we could have done is use Espirita first to get rid of the troops, and then Ronin may have followed the what's the word? Oh, I should have brought Tree. That's who I forgot. This is where this is not so great. We'll put Mike. I want Mike to take out some buildings down there, so his dupe can't be stunned, so that's the other thing. On 5 Vita should be a little bit interesting, so we'll get Mike to take out this stuff here. Oh, he can be petrified though, so that's a bit of fun. Takes out 1 building, takes out 2 buildings, takes out 3-4 buildings, and then we've got to time those Gunslinger procs and the Anubis, not the Anubis procs, the gun and the Waller procs. So we're running out of time here, a bit risky, so that's where they are there. We go in, we spam troops, we want her to take out as many of this as possible, which she has, taken out a few buildings, fantastic. And then Waller and Espirita. So obviously the Spirit can't be stunned either. So at this point I'm going to drop Espirita first, and probably followed by Waller. We're going to follow up with Anubis to end this. So wait till Waller has procced, and then we're going to put down all of them. So Waller's healing everyone. The Spirit is doing not a lot. He's really only hitting buildings, to be honest. 88%. Everyone's getting slowed down by the Waller, so the walking speed's super slow. But at the same time, we don't have a lot of buildings to go, so we shouldn't worry too much unless there's an owl on one of these guys and Anubis doesn't revive. 666. So a little bit of different thing there. I should have been more cautious and dropped Mike, to be honest, for Tree. That was a safety there. So alright, we've got 2 more to go. We got 18 minutes until this ends. So let's roll into this next one here. Okay, so last 2, not really order like today. Oh yeah, I remember this guy. So this is where everyone just like melted on the 2 deflect guys, which was pretty funny last time. So I just dropped everyone as quick as possible. Then Little Nick, has he still got Little Nick? No, I think this guy had, this is a very similar base, but instead of Little Nick he's got Gunslinger. So we will use the 2 drops, and we'll also use the Waller heal on top of them. And nope, we don't want to do that because Athene started proccing straight away. So nope, Mike was in there, nope, and then Heartbreak. Oh, this is a terrible drop. Alright, so we're going to wait for Athene to... Oh, she's not quite empowered. She's not empowered, but she's almost there. So is there a totem? Oh yeah, there's a totem. So that's not ideal. Not that they can heal under defensive mode, but yeah, so we'll go Mike, and then we'll just drop them all after. Alright, AC died straight away. So I wonder how I was doing this last time. I feel like I just got them to survive when I dropped there, which was really interesting. That I just kind of gunned it down. But maybe we can go in from this way, to be honest. Are they going to attack the wall? Looks like they will. Waller heal over the top of that. Keep them out of trouble. Maybe get rid of that Mike buff. Some troops to get rid of the Gunslinger stuff. AC is down. Their Mike is down. Got troops over here to follow the little copters, and let's see how much damage Waller plus Mike can do. So who is he going to be able to take down? Not too much. So but we've got rid of Sasquatch, we've got rid of Athene, and we've got rid of Mike. Is that right? Three heroes, and who have they got left? They've got Waller. So realistically, this should be okay. And we'll just go in from the top with Ronin. Granted, we don't have Tree anymore. We could have really not used Waller there. It would have been okay to probably not use him, because although there's no healing pets in this. This is interesting. I wonder if we've got if we get a couple of Phoenix shots onto this gunslinger, she might actually die. So obviously just getting rid of a couple of troops, 50%, so this is where we definitely don't want to die. Once all the buildings are gone from the top, we're probably okay. Alright, so this, I reckon 63%. Obviously this is why you would value some healing pets on your heroes. So she's down. That makes the rest of this super easy, because we kind of want him to die first, to be honest, but it's really not going to happen. So when you're looking at what's left, you maybe want him to damage as much buildings as possible. That's why he's there with the Phoenix pet. But if he was dying, or if you were running out of time, what you really want to concentrate on is when Anubis is going to proc, because you would drop Heartbreaker straight after that so she doesn't get minced, which we will do anyway. And when does he proc? Now, and so we get her down. Perfect. Love that. Happy days. Happy days. Last one, and we are done. Lucky last, and 10 minutes to go. Alright, lots of troops, so... Oh, but we've got an empowered Athene coming at me. This is what we live for with this Deflect squad. So, although... next to an empowered Waller as well. So if you're even putting Mike in there, you've got to kind of wait for that sync. You've got to wait for the Waller, because he's slower. Oh, that's interesting, because if he's next to... I don't know what the timing is, but that Athene is faster, right? So she procs, Waller goes in, and he's going to be debuffing that Mike within a second. So that's some great timing right there, but we can easily avoid that with just this. So... and then she's down, or maybe? Yeah, she's down anyway. So that was that. So for a base like this, with troops in the middle, this is where I'm going to swap out. I'm going to do a bit of different things. So this is what I was talking about earlier when we were using Espirita to get rid of so many troops. So let's get her back in the mix. And what pet does she have on? What ATLANTICORE have on him? I'll probably just put her on that. That's fine. ATLANTICORE had Bublo, so I probably do want Bublo on someone. I'm not sure who. Probably Mike, to get into the fray a little quicker. But we'll just keep him. We'll just keep him on that. And Waller. Do I want Waller? Let's just use Waller. I mean, we've been not using Waller. Not using Tree this entire thing, so I think we'll just roll with that. But interesting kind of timing. I'm not sure how effective it was. Everything's kind of overruled with just like bulk troops, so you drop Mike anyway. Athene's gonna melt, but that shield, no, it didn't go down, it did hit troops. But Athene has not, oh no, she's procced a second time. Didn't die though. Interesting. Wonder what happened with the first one. Maybe I should wait for the Waller to proc and give her some more energy. That's what we were probably after. And... oh, she was hitting all the troops. She wasn't even hitting Mike. That's what my issue was. Oh, of course. Why am I so silly? So we'll drop all the troops over here. Yeah. And then we'll drop Mike. Ah. Yeah. Looks a little better. She gets hurt and dies. Okay, perfect. So the only issue with the Espirita, see, I think maybe I'll have to change out for this tactic, change out Waller for Rockno, but we're just going to use troops instead and keep her occupied that way. So we've got a Waller and an Anubis down here, so that's cool, but I really want the spirit to attack a bunch of times, because there's a full troop. Let's say there's 300 troops, so let's see how fast the spirit can really deal with getting rid of all of these troops. So that's 1 proc, 2 proc, 3 proc, 4 proc, and we're done. That's the power of using a Spirita in Guild Wars right there. Look at that, that was 8 seconds, 4 procs, all the troops are done. Your Ronin can go in, or you can concentrate on something else. Maybe you want to do like, I don't know, a full in attack, but if you're using Walla, you know that those Walla procs are definitely hitting the heroes now and no troops. So, you know, if that spirit had stayed alive just a little bit longer, happy days. We're going to be doing, well, not really anything, but if there was any more troops, let's say, I'm going to be doing extra damage there. So, and now we've got a free course for Ronin to go into, and that's pretty much it. We don't have the maximum amount of troops that we should really have at this stage, but we also don't have an Athene breathing down our necks. Now he's going to go up, or he's going to go right through the middle. That is perfect. That is 100% perfect. Make sure we're just a little bit conservative with these troops now. So we are running quite low. Skelly's there. We do need them for the Skelly procs though, definitely, but making sure that he can stay alive outside of those Gunslinger procs, outside of those Skelly procs. And 23, make sure when you're getting low you do not. Okay, so we should be safe now, because we've got the entire top part taken care of, the entire middle part taken care of, and the bottom part, realistically, Heartbreaker and Anubis. Once you get over 80%, Anubis is pretty much going to take care of the rest of the buildings anyway, which I think Ronin did on himself. But that's the main example of Espirita there. I will try and remember to link a better description to look at how effective she can be in attack mode in Guild Wars in relation to those troops. Doesn't matter what level you are, those Guardians are all going to die for whatever level of Espirita that's going on. She just needs to survive for 8 seconds or 10 seconds to make it work. Or the spirit needs to survive for that long. But that's what we got, guys. A little bit different today. I think a little bit longer, I'm pretty sure this was, but I do like to start talking about different strategies. So thank you if you do stay and watch it. And I hope I'm bringing you some new strategies if you haven't heard of them, or new things to try. Let me know. I know someone left a comment last week about that Walla using with the Deflect Duo, and that worked out really well. So thumbs up for that, and we'll continue to prove people wrong and how useful Espirita can be in certain aspects, because I reckon that she's going to be one of those hefty heroes come 1 or 2 months time. My guess is May will be Insane Dungeon 8, because they've always brought them out in May and November, so that's my guess. They've just skipped November this year, to my devastation, and they'll just put it in May. Anyway, guys, as always, thanks for tuning in, and enjoy.